I'm gonna be honest, the first time I saw this, I thought the parody account, I thought this was a joke, I thought this was something that a troll had put out. But no, this is apparently real. This comes from the Twitter account of Dr. Eli David, who, according to himself, is one of the top 100 most influential accounts on Twitter. He has 500,000, and according to Noticed AI, he is the second most influential person on Twitter after Elon Musk. He's just a little bit behind Elon Musk. So, before we get into his post, let's just take a little trip back in time to 13 days ago when I covered this. So, what had happened was there's the al-Shifa hospital, and Israel was saying that there's a command center under it. This is from Netanyahu's Twitter account. And they said that there's this big command center under it, like this James Bond thing. There's like state of the art electronics. We have like this big thing of the whole hospital. And then we get to the evidence. So the evidence that they showed, and this is not me. This is from the government of Israel's official Twitter account. Was let's just go ahead. We have like a half-eaten box of dates, a couple Qurans, like five or six grenades. Like that's the high-tech stuff there, apparently, according to the government of Israel's Twitter account. We have a door that says MRI on it, um, and that was the evidence. Now, I should note that there was this insane conspiracy theory that see, prior to this, from my understanding, there was all these boxes that were outside of the hospital that said medical supplies on them, and that these were taken in prior to these other photos being taken. So make of that what you will. I think it's like some conspiracy theory that these photos were staged, but I would never imply or go to something like that. Besides, look at this man. I would trust this man with my life. He is a doctor after all. So he's hitting back. He's going like all the people who say that this doesn't look like a James Bond villain lair, that this isn't the smoking gun, that these like old rusty AKs, like that if they're even they were there could have just been used by the hospital security force, and that these cans of WD-40, that this does not constitute a clear and present danger to the entirety of the world. um, his hitback is that the Red Cross are Holocaust deniers, and if you deny that there was a Hamas command center there, if you think look at this and go, this doesn't look like Hamas's central command, you are a Holocaust denier. That is the what we have come to at the moment. So according to him, in 1944, and I'm sure that this was done in complete good faith, that this was not taken out of context, that this document is 100% legitimate. Um, the Red Cross report said we found no trace of installations for exterminating civilian prisoners in Auschwitz, whereas in 2023 we found no evidence of weapons or hostages being kept in hospitals in Gaza. So the Red Cross is obviously a Nazi organization that helped to cover up the Holocaust. Um, and thinking that this doesn't look like a command center is the same thing as denying that the Holocaust happened. You have to believe us that that was a command center because of the Holocaust. And like once again, I thought that this was like a joke. That this like because it's the joke is like everything has to be compared to the Holocaust, and it has to be used as the explanation for absolutely like anything Israel does. Um, it's the Holocaust happened, so therefore you just have to accept it. And in this case, it's literally you have to believe that this is a command center, or you're denying the Holocaust. So, like, how do you even respond to this? So, if we go down to the comments, according to Ryan Dawson, I don't know if this is accurate or not, but he said Auschwitz wasn't a camp. Auschwitz Birkenau was the name of a complex of 80 different camps and ghettos. You see by okay. that one particular one. Okay, so basically, what he's saying is Auschwitz is a bunch of different camps. The particular one that this report refers to wasn't one of the case. So, okay, so let's just read this and let's see if this like hate comment, because it's too hard to explain. Auschwitz wasn't a camp, was the name of a complex of 40 different camps and ghettos. You can see by the Theresienstadt camp inspection, the Red Cross visited in 44 didn't have methods for mass extermination aside from overcrowding because that was a labor camp and not an extermination camp. Nazis didn't allow for a full inspection of the complex, showing one page of Roswell McClellan's forward to Earl Harrison is misleading and devoid of context. They knew camps outside of Germany were freely done inspections, but did not want to lose access to what they were privy to because they were delivering them needed goods and aid. The reports were constructed not to publicize Nazi atrocities, but out of fear of losing access to what they have. So basically, I think what the implication is, a the specific thing he's referring to wasn't an extermination camp; it was a forced labor camp. So it's already dishonest and bullshit. The second thing is the Red Cross knowingly falsified documents because if they had have reported the truth in their reports, then they would have lost access to them. And they felt that um, fudging the truth a bit and being able to deliver medical supplies and food and letters and all that stuff to people who were living in horrific conditions was more important. Now you can take from that what you will. You can say they should have, regardless of the consequences, have been yelling about it. But to say that the Red Cross fudging some of their reports, it's not even relevant in this case. But to say the Red Cross fudging some of the reports so they could keep giving people in prison camps food and medicine and letters from home is the same thing as them covering up the Holocaust on purpose. It's just disgusting. Dude, you don't do yourself any favors when you do this. When you pull shit like this, you post fake evidence that's not even relevant and you lie about it. And then you say, well, the Red Cross lied about the Holocaust not happening back then, but we're like they're also lying about this thing that's obviously not. I can't even do the mental gymnastics. I think you understand what I'm trying to say though. Is that like um let's see here. So you're, what's interesting is Israel won't even allow the Red Cross or UN to inspect the alleged militarized residential buildings they keep bombing. So yeah, also states not exclusively Jews. Camps from the beginning were not exclusively Jews. There are those who oppose the government. Other stuff. So basically, a lot of the comments here are people saying some very edgy stuff. Um, we have this post from Dr. Eli David, Gaza, no search results on Google Maps. That is funny because of the Holocaust. That is not something that like a Nazi would have posted regarding the Warsaw Ghetto. This is not a hate account. Uh, so what you're saying is the Red Cross knew they were lying, but prioritized making access on humanitarian grounds. Isn't that precisely the claim being made about the Red Cross covering for? They fear losing access, so they cover for. Okay, so yeah, but but once again, okay, let's see here. Let me just take a look at this. Okay, what is this guy saying? Wait a minute. Somebody pointed out, like, okay, so let's actually read this. Okay, let's just read through this article and let's see if this is a denial of the Holocaust. In reply to your letter of November 17th, the Red Cross has succeeded in visiting the camp at Auschwitz. It is a fact that one of the delegates was able to enter the camp. According to his impression, the camp was a type of extensive concentration camp where the detainees were compelled to do various kinds of work, including work outside the camp. Our delegate told us they had not been able to discover any traces of installations for exterminating civilian prisoners. This fact corroborates a report which we have already received from other sources that for several months past there have been no further exterminations at Auschwitz. So no further, which implies there were previous ones. So they aren't even denying that it happened. I think they're just saying we didn't find a particular facility. Um, at all events, this is not a camp containing exclusively Jews. We are supplying you with this information personally and confidentially. So they aren't even denying that. So yeah. Okay, so let's look at this other article that Ryan Dawson posted. The IRCRC has expressly refrained from giving any publicity, whatever, to the June visit and observations or its delegate because it did not wish to gratuitously furnish material for German propaganda purposes, and because it was aware that the Germans quite possibly allowed Red Cross to visit that in the hope that Red Cross report could be used to whitewash their treatment of Jews in general. Red Cross feels that since the visit, German authorities have never permitted them to visit any other and far worse Jewish camps, excepting for a single very limited visit. Okay, so apparently this was like the least bad place at Auschwitz. Uh, so basically, he's just full of shit, and this is a complete and total lie. So he's trying to say that there was stuff, that there was a command center at the hospital, and the Red Cross is lying by lying about something the Red Cross said. Like, dude, you're not helping your case. Like, there's lots of people out there who will go with this and go, yeah, this raises a lot of interesting questions that we probably shouldn't open. But I don't know, dude. It's just I thought this was a joke, to be honest. I thought this was a parody account, but no, this is real. This is real. If someone knows more about this than me, maybe post in the comments and you can correct me. But